Hey guys, welcome back. I know there's a lot of sad news going around today, not just from the numerous wildfires in California, but other pieces of news. And I'm sure some of you are feeling fairly sad or let down right now, and that's one of the reasons I keep going back to Star Wars. Star Wars is my escape, and I hope this little vlog helps a couple of you cheer up at least a little bit. And I know I'm not very articulate about that right now, but anyway. Today, of course, is another Top 10 countdown, and I'm going to be touching on Top 10 awesome things about Rebels. Number 10 on the list is it has characters with significant development throughout the series. Now, this isn't just one or two characters like in Clone Wars that show significant development, but this is original characters that we do not see in any of the movies, like Kanan Jarrus and Sabine Wren, and even Ezra Bridger, that show significant character development throughout the entire series, from the first season until the end. Some of the most significant character development we see is that of Garazab Aurelios and quite possibly Kanan Jarrus. Number 9 on the list, like Clone Wars, there are plenty of original trilogy tie-ins in Rebels. I mean, it's set only 5 years before A New Hope, so naturally there's lots of stuff in there. One of the most fun is seeing original trilogy characters make cameos in there, including Princess Leia. Now, if you ask me, the only original trilogy cameo that was missing was a little glimpse of a young Luke. All we needed was like 5 seconds during Twin Suns, cutting from Obi-Wan's perspective to Luke's perspective. He looks over his shoulder and then Obi-Wan's gone and shrugs and walks off. But that's just me. You know I'm a Luke Skywalker fangirl. Number 8 on the list is the animation. Animation in Rebels is a big stride ahead of where Clone Wars left off, and by the end of the series, the animation is downright incredible. It never gets, as realistic as Pixar, but that's not the style they're going for. It still looks like animation, but the effects, the lighting, it all blends together so well, and I have to say, it's the best animation I've ever seen in a TV series. Number 6 on the list is the music. Yeah, I know Rebels didn't come up with a whole lot of new or original themes, but the way they used music from the original trilogy was very, very effective. It kept the feeling of adventure in there, and Rebels felt like Star Wars right from the get-go. It's like, boom, in Star Wars, like, yes, back in the world we know and love. And that was something Clone Wars was sadly lacking until about the 3rd season. Number 5 on the list is we actually get multiple threatening villains in here. Too often, a children's animated series has got one-dimensional villains without a whole lot of motivation, but in this case, Rebels really knocked it out of the park. We had several villains that weren't just bad for the sake of being bad. They were very menacing, and they also had some good character motivations in there. And one of them had a significant turnaround by the end of the series, and that was, of course, Agent Kallus. He went from an absolute jerk to one of the good guys, and that was pretty cool. Number 5 on the list of awesome things about Rebels is, of course, the lightsaber battles. Lightsaber battles are part of what makes Star Wars Star Wars. Without a few lightsaber battles, it falls kind of flat, even if you have lots of blasters and everything. Whenever there's not a lightsaber in Star Wars, it feels like there's something missing. But Rebels has got plenty of them, and it's got several different kinds of lightsabers that we've never seen before, including my personal favorite, Ezra's, which functions as both a blaster and a lightsaber. How he managed to incorporate 2 of those into one tool blows my mind. On the flip side, though, there were a couple of lightsabers that I could have done without. For example, the helicopter spinning blades of the Inquisitors. I'm sorry, that was just dumb. Number 4 on the list is another staple of Star Wars, awesome space battles. That was one of the things in Rebels that really helped thrust you into the world of the original trilogy and made it feel, really like Star Wars. There were some really good space battles. A lot of them showing off Hera's natural flying skills, which is nice. It's nice to see a female pilot at the forefront for once, which is really cool. And yeah, the space battles in Rebels were really good. They're among my favorites, and I love watching them over and over and over again. Number 2 on the list is an item that Rebels shares with the Clone Wars, in that it added to the mythos surrounding the Force. With Rebels, we were introduced to, among other things, the world between worlds, and how the Force can be manipulated in different ways, and how sometimes the Force can act as a more obvious guide than in other times, actually, or sort of manifesting in the form of animals or spirits or something like that. And it really adds more dimension to what the Force in Star Wars actually is. And finally, the number 1 awesome thing about Rebels is the family dynamic among the main characters. We've always had main characters in Star Wars that have had a pretty good chemistry going into it. I mean, for example, Luke, Leia, and Han in Episode 4. Within, I would say, half an hour of them coming together, they were like, boom, friends. And even though Han was a little bit antagonistic at first, by the end of the movie, they were all solidly, they became a team fairly quickly. That's something that Force Awakens did pretty well with the buddy dynamic between Finn and Poe, and that's something Rebels does really well too. Within the first couple of episodes, the Spectres became, I know Sabine, she said it outright in the first episode. In a way, they're like a family, and they are like a family. It's like Hera's clearly in the role of mom. Kanan is clearly in the role of dad and or main mentor. And Sabine and Ezra are kind of like the kids, and Zeb, he can either act like one of the adults, more often more like one of the kids, and Hera and Kanan even call them the kids. And then Chopper is like either the quirky pet or the quirky relative that keeps showing up, and he's kind of a pill but comes through in the end. So there you go, guys. Those are the Clumsy Jedi's top 10 awesome things about Rebels. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and you want to see more G-rated Star Wars content, go ahead and click that little subscription button down below. Tell your friends if you like. And my dog is crying in the background. Manali, what are you crying about, baby? So, question of the day. What is your absolute favorite thing about Rebels? Go ahead and post a comment below. Before I go, I've got one more thing to mention that I'm fairly excited about, I guess you could say. We recently got an announcement, I think it was on Saturday, that there's going to be a brand new live-action series starting about Cassian Andor, and Diego Luna is reprising his role as the Rebel. So that's pretty neat. The actor seems pretty excited about it. I'm a little bit excited about it myself. We didn't get to know Cassian that well in Rogue One, but it'll be really neat to see some of his backstory and how he turned into the man that he was in Rogue One and what experiences shaped him. So that's pretty exciting. And until next time, this is the Clumsy Jedi signing off. I'll see everybody again on Wednesday. And until then, may the Force be with you.